There we go. All right. Still suffering the ravages of whatever the hell this was that knocked me out, but it did quite the whammy. Uh, and voice not fully back either, but I'll do the best I can. Really, all I can do is I'm going to color this image here and then fix up a few others that I had started, but I'll complete them with some backgrounds for them. So it'll just be a Photoshop show. So we'll do that. Super tips are appreciated, and I believe I activated the image. If I remember correctly, let me take a look. Yeah, there it is. All right, so try that if you want to. But anyway, there we go. So that's all cool, well and good, and all that goody gumdrop stuff. But first and foremost, okay, I can hear that I am coming through, at least. Technically, the voice is still not at its best. So anyway, this here, it's Scarlett Hampton, but doesn't quite look at her. But I thought it was, a nice enough drawing anyway. I believe I did this based on the image that Melton used for the super tip image of her voice. And the eyes, it's really too wide. But it'll work. So, like I said, a good enough image. So this is one where I'll paint over it in Photoshop. So basically, kind of approach it like I'm using watercolors, and as such, you pick your brushes in Photoshop to utilize that. So there we'll go with something like that. Put that over the eyes. And since I'll go ahead, and it's just by the drawing itself, appears I've chosen the light to fall on the other side. So that will inform the choices I make of where I will put the color. So we'll get her nose in, of course, and then over here, we'll go ahead, do the eyes. Her hair would, of course, cast a bit of a shadow here, and then on down the side here, and some elements of definition there. Probably go ahead, do that, or elements of the nose, and then get the line on the jaw there, and that ought to do it for that area. We'll move on to the forehead, and I forgot, I want this side to be darker, so we'll have to correct that a bit. Okay, so use the eraser, but it too is operated like a brush, so kind of fade over there. So there we have it. Still, I might go ahead and use the same color, but just go ahead and put that over the eyebrow as it functions as the color for it. Yeah, maybe that too. Okay. So for the lips, could just paint it, but I might do a little bit of both here. Go back into the original and just fill the space there, and then ever so gently go over the lips in the top layer, and add all that, and that'll complete the lippage of Miss Hampton. So, yeah, I've been out of action for a while, but I managed to, when I felt up to it, a lot of times I didn't want to do anything. Everything was annoying. Everything made me sicker. The slightest sounds, you know how it is when you get sick. And but wasn't out of it for very long, and then would just turn on the phone and take a look, and there's still people going crazy over Scarlet. You know, I mean, there's something about Scarlet, and here again, I'm always forgetting. I don't know the color of her eyes. Guess we'll just guess they're brown. You know, I'm gonna go with that. I'm probably wrong, but this is the sort of thing that can be fixed later. So we'll go ahead with that, and good enough, you know. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do another layer just to be safe, and we will get to the hair color. So there we go. There we go. So we'll just start doing all that. One of these days, just don't have the patience or the inclination for it, because I'm hoping I can get an hour in for this. But I think that's about all I can do, which is pretty typical for me anyway. But one of the things would to do multiple layers of the image itself. Now, you know, I've done it a time or two for some images. It's a quick way to put a large swath of color on the entirety of the image, and then you erase away where you don't want the particular color. So if it's like an article of clothing, so the whole body has this, you know, blue color to it or something like that, and then you erase away where the flesh would be and stuff like that, and the hair and all that, and fine and dandy and all, that's all good. But one of the things is the utilization of changing the color of the very outline. Sometimes you can just go over it, so you can see like the black lines of the hair here, and then the same thing with the face, and you can have the flesh color going over it. But it could go into the separate layer and just go ahead and put the fill into the actual line, and so then the entire thing is outlined in that color. So it's like the entire outline of the drawing would be the blonde color, and of course I don't want her outlined in blonde color. So with a separate layer, though, it would just be that one. So then you just eliminate all the other stuff from it. It's, you know, it's still a tedious thing, but, oh, what am I doing? It's, a tedious thing to some extent, depending on how much is there for you. But in this case, it would be quite a bit. So it's like if I wanted the flesh color to be completely outlining all the lines here, then I would do that separate line, hit it, and then put the original drawing on top with whatever color relation layers and what have you, and then slowly erase away like the rest, like it would be in the hair as well, and the hat and all that, and I would take all that out, and then it would have its outline all nice and tidy. Oops. So, I got distracted and went on back into the layer. So now, fortunately, I've made this color so many times that I can repeat it. And once again, I didn't save the swatch. But, like I said, I know how to do it. So anyway, I mean, basically it would kind of look the same as what I'm doing already, but I wouldn't have to painstakingly, color it. And other times you can take the multiple layers for the image, and then each color you want, you do it the block way. The entire thing is like blonde or flesh or whatever, and then you erase away the parts you don't want. But then again, still rather tedious. But it really does capture the outline in, a preferred manner. Oh, yeah. So, there. And when it comes to stuff like this, though, I mean, it doesn't take too long to just go ahead and it's like dragging the brush across the page, little the blonde hair. Now, of course, you say, hey, this is a little too much yellow. Well, I can fix that. Just let me get it on there. These things take time. Yes, it does. Okay. All right. So let's see here. I'll go into my hue and saturation and ever so slightly desaturate it. All right, so that's that for that. I could lighten it, but it'd probably be better once I'm all done to do this, but I could go in and add highlights and stuff. I'll do that when I've decided to go ahead and close it. So the hat was black, like that. Maybe that's too dark. Can't do much definition, so this might work a little better. Yeah, probably so. All right. increase that. There we go. Okay. I think we'll flatten that, which I just did. So there you are. And I'll take out the background there. I mean, I don't really know what I'll do with it, but I'll think of something one day. So anyway, now I can go ahead and do these. Oh, geez, come on. Little highlights there. So yeah, it has it's almost like a glow from there. Yes, yes. Stuff like that. And then kind of do the opposite elsewhere. So it's okay to bump the face a little bit here, but not too much. And then here. Good. And we'll add some amount of definition to the hat. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay. Something like that. But she almost looks like a character from a 60s Cold War movie or something like that, yeah. Yeah, I think that'll pretty much do it. And then probably for the eyes, go ahead and do another layer. And do like that. And do it a tad bigger there. There we go. She's like, huh? Yeah, kind of. Something like that. Anyway, there you are. One image of Miss Hampton with a hat that, as far as I know, perhaps still exists and hasn't been tossed into the fireplace, but we just don't know. We may never know. Okay. I haven't done this in a while. Susan says, hi, Douglas. Glad you're recovering. Thank you, Susan. Hi. Thompson, Doug always sick. Yeah, not this sick. Frank, Doug, how are you feeling? I got sick, too. Well, you know what they always say. There's something going around. And, well, welcome to the club. And a follow-up question, how black were Pat's teeth and gums when you met him in person? Not very. Out of two, you want to know so you can make up your mind on whether or not you should kiss him. Well played, sir. You going to Hackamania, Frank? You're gonna make out with Pat. Out of tune, looking good. Well, thank you. Captain Infinity, Time Travel Police, telling everybody to live long and prosper. You know, you might as well. I mean, what else are you going to do with your time? All right, here's Detective Joey C. At one point, I thought this back alley scene might work, but then I thought a private investigator office. But then it's like he's investigating something, so I don't know which. First thing, I gotta change the size of these. Let's see. We'll put the resolution at 300. Come on. All right, 200, whatever. And okay. All right. And then, as is always the case, we're going to want a halftone pattern layer for separation. There we go. And there's Detective Joey C. Private investigator, you understand. As he tracked down Carmack's criminal record, you know. Well, Carmack was driving around with a suspended license, so law enforcement didn't care for that. Well, he wasn't going to get past Joey C. P.I., you know. So, there you go. So, yeah, it kind of works, you know. I do like the detective's office. So, same thing. Turn that. Oh, yeah, there we go. This resolution, the width, okay. And here he is here. I could have used the one from the other. Okay, well, whatever. And go. Yeah, it works too. So, oh boy, it's going to be a tough call. I don't know. Oh, geez. Could do a whole series of them, like he's in different environments to investigate, you know, the backgrounds of criminals. Yeah. There. Oh, wait. I put it on the wrong. There we go. There. There he is at his office. And it's like, who are you? You know. I'm here to hire you for a case. Oh, yeah. All right. Have a seat. So, Joey C. P.I. It could probably work. You know? Probably could. Okay. Let's see. What's the next one? Oh, yeah, the medieval scenes. Well, move them over here. Over here. These were some doodles from work, I guess a couple of weeks ago now. I think I started watching the Merlin show on Daily Wire, and so I was thinking of that. Hey, Dabbleverse characters could make typical. Oh wait, I bet I need to go ahead and enlarge this. But medieval era characters. So I did. I drew stuttering John, and Ashley Cummings, because he's been hitting on her and stuff. Because if you're a woman and you come on his show, he's gonna hit on you. So that's the way it is. So I don't know if she's supposed to be like a princess, or I gave her kind of a strange headdress there, or it's not quite a tiara or anything, but I guess she's like a sorceress or something. And hanging out at the old tavern, and there for whatever reason drew karmic, so he's there, not knowing what to do. And so there we have the AI background of a medieval tavern. So I'll select one of these. I guess the lantern wins out. And you add a layer. And bloop. That's how we do that. Once again, halftone pattern. And there we go. Maybe lighten it a little. But they tend to fit in better that way. Besides, I want my actual art to be the emphasis. The background is only there for finesse. There we go. I guess that's okay. Maybe get rid of that. All right. That can go. And he's got stuff that needs to go. This is all the remnants of the thing about the layered painting and whatnot, is that it does overstep the edge, and that's how it will show up. Not so much if it was like a solid color, it would really show up. But it's still, it's like, I don't want none of that there. And there we go. Okay. Got a bit of a trim, or getting rid of karmic split ends. Something like that. Whoops. Yeah. Going to have to lower them a bit. Even more. There we are. It's too bad, because I should have drawn it a little more detailed. Could just make it like a storybook image. Might do that. Damn. Okay. Yeah. Maybe, oops. Forgot about that. But anyway, this will be part of another segment of the comic book, which is now at 22 pages complete. And this will be another element I'll throw in there. And there we go. Still messes up. You stupid karmic. Went and lost your hand. There you go. All right. So, there we have it. The sorceress lady Ashley, the Duke, stuttering John, trying to bust a move, and then poor Squire Karmic looking on in disgust. So there we have. There's that medieval image. So thank you to the participants. And then we move on to the Lady Fuddle and her fool. Yep, that's right. So colored them individually in a previous live stream, I believe. And now it's time to give them a proper background. So I thought, well, they probably hang out at the King's Castle, stuff like that. And so it would make sense that that's the type of background they'd be in. So, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. So here you go. This ought to work. And let me, once again, same old adjustments. And there we are. Now for the separation. Oh no. Do I want it that light? Or maybe that. Something in between? Yeah, alright. And go ahead and add that. And where's the sketch, half-tone pattern, and okay. So, all right. Now, for her latest, oh boy, you can see all the stuff I gotta get out now. Shrink them down. There we have it. So, same problem as before. A little bit more here. Well, came right off, so not too bad. And off the shoulder. Okay. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. Mm-hmm. Here we go. There we are. Okay. Whoop, that's too big. Okay, no, it's still too big. Yeah, that'll work. All right. Okay. Do a little Photoshop trick here. Render clouds. And then I'll have to increase the contrast. Oh, damn it. Come on. There we go. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. Basically, there you have it. Lady Fuddle and her fool. His bells and hobnail boot. Well, kinda. I don't know. He wanted to be seen as a, a knight and all that, but he really couldn't cut it. So the only position left was fool, because everyone does tend to laugh at him. So the king thought, yeah, that'll work. And there you have it. And that. And this. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. Let's see here. Give her some lipstick. Yeah, it'll work. All right, see? It's all great. Oh, maybe a hint of shadow. If only just a hint. There we are. All right. Ta-da. It worked out, I think. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm trying to check the clock there. Okay. So that's it for our medieval stories. We'll put Joey C over here. That's the other Joey C. Scarlet. Yeah, our medieval friends. Oh, yeah, this one. So here's the thing, another Scarlet image, but seems she was asked what she would have done had she not gotten into the adult film industry. And, or as John Kinsel would describe it, adult romance industry. And she said she wanted to be a paleontologist. So this inspired the Dr. Scar Dinosaur Hunter images that I felt compelled to draw. So there we go. Same thing. Set up a layer, do the separation, add the halftone pattern, and then bring it down. There we go. And now for Scar. Oops, I forgot they weren't all one drawing. Yeah. So let's just return where she was, and we'll go from there. Rawr, rawr. She found him and wanted to bring him home, you know. She just thought he was great. Anyway, so there you go. It kind of fits there. Maybe want to increase the background a little more. Thought I might have to move it down even more. But yeah, it's not too bad. Could make him a little bigger. Boom, 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 boom. And there goes Scarlet. So you pretty much, yeah, I guess that'll work. Now, if I was going to use it as like a cover image, I'd have to do a lot more here and probably have to go back to a portrait AI image and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be able to use this one. But if it's just going to be a panel, which is what I think, I've already got this narrative going on with the whole karmic story and stuff like that. And this one could possibly fit in with it. So, yeah, that'll work. So, not too bad, I don't think. So, Dr. Scar, Dinosaur Hunter. And she, of course, a paleontologist deals with the bones of dinosaurs. They don't actually study any living dinosaurs. But in a fantastical tale of it, Dr. Scar finds some still alive, you know. So, there you have it. All she has is this rifle and a knife strapped to her leg. I don't think either one will do any good. But, you know, I guess it's better than nothing. All right. Let's see who's... Don Jr. Morning Doug. Hi, Don. So I guess That's the deal. Damn, I thought I had another one. I did. Fuddle and her fool. Crap. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this stuff just piles up on the desk. All right. Well, that looks to be about it. Suppose I could go through some of I could go through the folder, I guess. That might work for the shoe. The doodle art. There it is. First one. Yep. Oh, it's not showing any of that. Weird. Oh, yeah, you got to select the thing. Yeah, that's okay. All right. There we have it. Got to go into OBS and look for this. There we go. So this was cropped for an image I did that Tommy Jordan was doing his show, and he had Keanu and Ashley Cummings on the show, and they were mad at each other and whatnot. And then Melton played a clip of the show and talked about it and all that. So I drew this cartoon of it. Well, Tommy wanted his image, so I cropped it and sent it over to him. So, well, that explains that. There, of course, is the original drawing of the Scarlet picture that just put color to.
Whoops!
Yeah. What the hell, you idiot!
Oh, boy. Oh, no. Well, that was inspired by recent events, you know. So, all the way at the beginning, there's my original drawing. But then Grok decided to put life to it. Oh, there you see it. Oh, didn't do it quite the way I told it to, but, you know, I tried multiple times.
What the hell, you idiot!
This one was probably the best one, you know. But there, you can see the original image. And bloop. I mean, it immediately understands. Now, those are the ring lights. I mean, the ring light itself reflected in its glasses. But it does make this sort of cartoon eye effect on his glasses. So it's always been a funny looking thing. But of course, the AI says, oh, he means to do cartoon glasses. So he does, so that it does, you know. But anyway, you get the idea. Perhaps that is what occurred behind the scenes.
Whoops!
What the hell, you idiot!
This is one of the earlier ones.
Whoops!
What the hell, you idiot!
Yeah. And then...
Whoops!
What the hell, you idiot!
I don't know why she's putting her legs up like that. And then the original drawing. He's like, ooh! He bumped the camera, and it moved over to reveal the big secret. That wasn't, but, you know, the way that goes, I guess. Here, you know, constantly doing these images of people living rent-free in other people's heads. Of course, Kevin, it's got Patrick Melton permanently living in his head. And, I just realized, look at that. I didn't erase that. Well, too late now. Anyway, there he is. And all he has to do is just move on and forget about it. He can't. Not let go. So, anyway. There you go. This, speaking of Melton, was one of the videos, arrest videos that he's watching on his show. And so I got the AI to make a gas station, and it put this guy who just talked himself into getting arrested. So this is pretty much a quote of what the guy was blabbering. Is it started yelling corruption, corruption. He at one point said, "I dreamed that this would happen." When he started getting arrested, he was spitting on the officer, so they put the spit mask on him. He said, "Check your language, officer." And then I changed it to put one in my third eye because I was trying to make it an image submission, but it kept saying there was violent language in here. So, yeah, I couldn't quote it accurately, and even when I made up a new one, it was still saying, So this was the original. So, yeah, he said, put a bullet in my third eye. Now, of course, his third eye doesn't really exist. It's like a spiritual element, you know. But nevertheless, but that's what the guy said. He ended up in the spit mask and the rap, which is typical of those cases. This was a woman named Kelsey, who someone found running around naked in the trees after she crashed her car into a tree. So I guess she got out of the car, and I don't know if she stripped down or was naked to begin with, but whatever. So the police showed up and tried to coax her to come out of the trees. But then she decided to jump into the lake and took off swimming. So the police got a boat and had to come get. Eventually they got her. But her name was Kelsey, and so I had the police here. Said, "Come on, Kelsey, get in the boat." And she did say this: "Is you can't see me. This isn't real." So I don't know what the hell's going on, what she was on or what, but swimming around butt naked, and didn't think it was real, or unfortunately for her, it was all very real. Turns out, I think they did spot some sharks swimming around. So yeah, it wasn't a lake. I think this went out into the greater sea. I forget where they were. Somewhere in New Jersey, I think. Can't remember. But anyway, they eventually got her though. And there's the individual art of Mr. Corruption, the original doodle, and then there's the original drawing of Kelsey in boat. This is from an earlier. I know these were some doodles I did while watching Nobody Likes Onions. And I was watching arrest videos that took place at the airport. So this was a grown woman crying like a little girl, throwing a tantrum. And probably all she had to do was do what she was told and could have left. But I think this is one where she showed up tipsy, if not outright drunk, and the plane said, "Now get off the plane." And she said, "I have to be at the office for my job," or something like that, in the morning. And well, it wasn't going to happen because she shows up intoxicated and got booted off the plane. So she throws a fit and all that sort of stuff. And so this is kind of what she would say. "I didn't do anything wrong. Are you kidding me? I make more in a week than you do in a year. I better be going." Yeah, she did say that. "I better be going to the comfy jail." Because eventually she got arrested. I don't know. Can't remember. I don't know if she spit at an officer or assaulted him some kind of way. He said, "All right, you're going to jail." So, and then these were two others who got busted at the airport. This guy was an actual flight attendant, and he said his dad was NYPD, which I'm sure his dad is now hangs his head in shame. His idiot son, who was a flight attendant, probably no more, as he shows up drunk at the airport, and of course was spitting at the officer, so they put the spit mask on him as well. This guy urinated on himself, and of course was all of them were heavily intoxicated. And I think he did say something akin to "You will smell my pee." Or something. It's just crazy. And so just started losing it. Gets struggles with the officers, so he gets arrested and off to the jail he went. There's our Joey C again. This, of course, from this hot tub where Matt Mead hung out with the Biscontis, and something of this nature was alleged to have occurred. Yeah, that's Gino's toes.
Chad, what were you thinking going to that man's house? You could have been shot or arrested.
So this is Chad Zumach and his girlfriend in the kitchen. And, of course, people say his girlfriend's fake. So I guess only a blow-up doll would work. But, of course, Grok adds more features. But then in his mind, perhaps the blow-up doll does come to life, you know. But she was very upset at him for going to Merce's house. And she says, you could have been shot. You know, you could have been arrested. You know, what were you thinking? She was very upset with Chad's behavior, you know. And apparently ruined
Screw
their
Amex.
Thanksgiving.
Lockdowns, am I right? Daddy's always right.
Shut up, shut up, shut up! Ah.
So there's Kiki and Gino having an argument. And
Screw
Kiki
Amex.
having
Lockdowns,
enough.
am I right? Daddy's always right.
Shut up, shut up, shut up!
So, you know, it took my original image again. You know, if only there was a way to keep it consistent with the stylings. I'm sure it probably is, but it's probably more sophisticated and not free. So, but I don't know. You know, it works out okay. So, oh yeah, there's the original image, and yeah, Stuttering John hitting on Miss Judy. This guy, Royce. Oh yeah. So he says, ever wanted to see what happens to pizza, peanut butter, fudge, and anchovies? Well, check out my OnlyFans. This is for the complete Royce experience. So, well, again, if you watch Nobody Likes Onions, you're familiar. Okay, there's the comic strip version of it. And you know, MX can shove it. Hey, Minnesota, you too. Pat Dixon, am I right? Here we have more characters filling up Kevin's head and added Scarlett and Stuttering John to the mix with Melton, Pat Dixon, and Anthony Cumia. So there you go. It's getting crowded in there, but I'm sure there's room for a few more. Then the original image, the comic strip version of the Hot Tub Rendezvous. There's Scarlett, or Dr. Scar. There's, oh yeah, this one was from another arrest video, not the airport ones, but yeah, she was out on the street, and this officer just had a severe speech impediment, and she just kept trashing him the whole time. But that's been it. Ma'am, you were under arrest for driving under the influence. And she was drunk as a skunk and just a complete disaster. And this went on and on. Even when they got to the jailhouse, she was fighting with everybody there and all this stuff. But it was just hilarious. On top of everything else, she just was, just was trashing this guy as if that was some sort of out for her, having been pulled over while driving under the influence, but and this, I forget her name, but the lady that was, she's got a lot of problems, but it made for a pretty good, image, cartoon, whatever. And she would, yes, belch into the camera. There's our pal Karmic with one of his many catchphrases, "Don't do me dirt." So, I guess if you show up at his place and you got mud on your shoes, you won't be allowed in. You're going to have to really stomp that off, and I guess take your shoes off before you enter his humble abode, you know? And, you know, you could understand. He don't want that stuff being tracked in there. So there you go. Stuttering John, when he was, you know, challenging everybody to a fight, was offered $10,000 cash prize to do it. Well, it would have been split between the two. So what would he would have? He would have gotten $7,000 out of it all. But all expenses paid, hotel, plane ticket, all that cool stuff. And no, turned it down. Yeah, supposedly because Patrick Melton was making the offer. I don't know who else could. So, and so that's his excuse and his out for not taking up the deal. The isolated aunt. There's Karmic laughing at Rob Saul accidentally knocking his monitor over, his dog saying, "I'm out of here." Another Karmic, I forget. I can't remember. He was watching something and sketched. I think I was sketching him while I was on Pat's show. Shmuel Buckman as a mummy because Joey C. was mad at Shmuel Buckman and he said he looks like a mummy. So that inspired that image. Karmic and Felicia's blouse and jacket, which he dressed up in on the show. There in his usual outfit. Video. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of the whole saga. Yeah, this one, it came from an image. Someone told me on one of their trips, he went with Felicia, says he saw his first cockroach in his life. So someone said, could you draw a picture of him walking a pet roach? So I did, yeah. Yeah, same thing pretty much. That's the, I guess I saved the halftone pattern, yeah. There's the background for my a parody thereof, imagery from Karmic's for show. And, what's this? Oh, yeah. First thing I did was put it in green screen and then had Grok make it so I could cut that out and put it over whatever. So there, you see. Yeah, he's a little too happy here, you know. It's so I guess I could use that for, you know, it's happy Karmic. And then the original image. This is Adam Bush. Yes, yeah, he's done a couple of Pat shows. So this was a Stuttering John image, but it's almost like Stuttering John with a sore tooth or something, because how the hell I missed that, but I just made that weight ridiculously wide, so it doesn't really work. This one's a little better. This one, that's not too bad for Stuttering John. This is another cartoon I'll probably get to. Stuttering John chasing Ashley as she jogs down the road. And of course, we're back to the medieval characters. This might have been the original one. Oh yeah, that's what he was going on about COVID, and then Aaron Berg. And of course, there's always a Pat Dixon drop and stuff like that. And it was, you know, once again, Kiki upset about it. Oh, look, it's the Lady Fuddle and Karmic, Baby Karmic, more Baby Karmic, Lady Fuddle, Baby Karmic. Oh, yeah, there's one thing I can't stand is a crybaby. I don't think it's exact terms, but he was cussing out somebody on his show and going on about they whine and bitch and cry. And it's like, self-awareness, 0. Another one of Gino. The original. Yeah, that was the original drawing. I put color to it and all that. Blade. What is it? Did John win by 2, I think? But I don't know. I guess it was the PulperCon thing, and he was whining about Melton and Carl. So there we go. There's Karmic with his Hunchosaurus. That takes too long. Karmic being rescued by Super Scarlet. Oh, this is the original image that Tommy Jordan was on. It's not a great Melton. I really screwed that up. Kind of sort of captured the background of his videos. But there's Kiki, and then Ashley was vaping, I guess. So there you go. And Tommy was struggling not to pass out. This, I wonder why it's like that. Oh, it must be a snapshot I did or whatever. But I did this thing of Pat and Felicia, but Felicia is like Lucy and Pat's Charlie Brown. So anyway, I did that one. And then there were some cartoons. Didn't really work out. I was trying to make it do like the actual Peanuts, but it never really did. Yeah. And no, that don't work. And yeah, it looks weird, but a little too happy. Oh, it's just me drawing. So, and there's the original image. So it didn't really work out, you know. Well, another thing that didn't work out was Karmic and Scarlet seemed like something had real potential there, but then somebody put an end to that. Yeah. I don't think that's Ashley. It might be Ashley. I think this is supposed to be Keanu, but yeah, I didn't do very good with that. So, oh yeah, this was the incident on the New Year's show. So there's Matt Mead burning Scarlett's hat. Scarlett's upset and crying, and then Matt's I forget her name, Jenny or something. Anyway, she was there. What's his name? Derek Savage. In his Cool Cat videos. You would have had to have seen it. But anyway, the original art there. Karmic. I think I've gone over this before because they were getting into more older images, but I did this one with Haley because she lives rent-free in Karmic's head. And, Mary Jane Murphy. I haven't heard about her in a while, so I don't know. And, of course, Karmic and his mask. Okay, I managed to get over the hour. And starting to get a little weak. So there we go. Let's see. Don Juice is very cool. Nodex says hit the like button, which is true. It's a nice thing to do. Don't worry. The button likes to be hit. All right. No super tips to check, so that'll be the end of the show. So you saw me color some pictures and then look at a bunch more. There's something. At least I managed to do something this week. I also managed to do a New York Post Stories video that will be featured in Pat Dixon's next New York City crime report. And I had to rely on AI Grok cartoons for that. And, it worked out. I used, same thing I did with this, put my own art into it and then tell it to make it a video, that kind of thing, give it the prompt for what I want it to do. And then put it over the story that I covered. I think my voice was a little bit better than it is now. Just, not as commanding as I normally have it. But anyway, it's a simple story of some terrible crimes that happened in New York City recently. So you can check that out over at compoundcensored.tv. And if you're not a subscriber, you can subscribe now and use that oh-so-sweet promo code Dixon and get your discount. So you can check out that program over there. In the meantime, you can check out all my stuff on my channel, of course. And then I thought I would just skip the Nailsin Show, but I still got a lot of Nailsin news segments that I taped probably a couple of weeks ago now. So I put a good bit of that, edited that together for a show. And I thought, well, good enough faux show, the show. So there'll be that coming this Saturday. I wasn't able to do an audio play for obvious reasons, so it doesn't have any of that, but it does have lots of Nailsin news, with all kinds of terrible, horrid stories. But, in their own way, somehow become hilarious. Yeah. So, all right. Okay, here we go. Oh, wait. How do I... No, I guess I don't. It doesn't matter. It can stay there. Get back to there we go. So here we are at indieplanet.com/Douglas-Nelson. And that takes you to the Douglas Nailsin page at indieplanet.com. And so there's the comics from, me. And you can head over there and order your copy. Doodleverse Comics, soon to be followed by Doodleverse Comics #2. And, you click whatever you want on. There's Night Night. And if you just want the digital version, well, it's dirt cheap at 99 cents. And then if you want the print version, well, $3.75. So there you go. Cool, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it is. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Order your Nailsin comics today. So there you go. That's my advertisement for today, I guess. Yeah, Nailsin Comics at indieplanet.com was the sponsor for today's lackluster show. But look, it's the best I could do. So there you go. Have a good rest of your day. I've got to go get rest and then somehow drag myself to work tonight. Gee, I hope I can make it and get through that. So hopefully also that I can do this again. Probably not over the weekend. If I feel up to it, I don't know what I would do for Sunday comics. I don't think I'm up to reading a story and all that. And I got a few ideas that I could just talk about, comic books in general. And so might do that. Otherwise, there just won't be one. And then that's the deal. Another thing I was able to do after I did New York Post stories was I taped a couple of Nailsin ratings videos. So I'll have the first one out today, and then I'll schedule the other ones to come out over the weekend. And I think I'll have one for Monday too. was hoping I could do another one, but the voice is just not that good. So the one I got coming up is about the Warner Brothers battle over it between Paramount and Netflix and all that stuff. So I put that in there. Then as things go, there'll be one about the Superman movie. There'll be one about plot leaks concerning Avengers Doomsday, and a plot leak for what appears to be the scrapped Blade movie that they were working on. So, yeah, there's a couple of those. They'll be coming shortly. So there'll be something from Mr. Nailsin. So anyway, have a good rest of your day and a good weekend. And hopefully I'll visit with you sometime soon in better condition than now. I mean, this is better than, even yesterday and the day before that. And then, oh my God, just came out of the blue. I was fine. I was actually laughing and texting with Pat Dixon about the Felicia cartoon I did, and then like a minute after that, everything went to hell. I'm like, what is this? And then absolute misery. Now, I know. Was it a curse? Was there some witchcraft performed on me? Well, we may never know. But anyway, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my friend. It hurts to set you free, but you'll never follow me, because this is the end. This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my friend. It hurts to set you free, but you'll never follow me, because this is the This is the end, beautiful friend.
Whoops!
What the hell, you idiot? Oh!